Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time I am going to show you the fresh release from Miniart. It's a kit number 38053, and this is a Tempo A400, so-called Kastenwagen. It's a 3-wheel delivery box truck as it's written here, and the kit itself will be interesting for all modelers who would like to assemble some civil vehicle without resorting to build the military option. And as you can see here, we have quite a bright marking option on the box art, and I have no doubt that we will have more in the kit. So first of all here, I have to say that the kit version, or this is what you are seeing on the video review, you will get exactly the same stuff because this is the final shape of the kit, and nothing will change if you order it, for example, from Modelimex, where it is already available. So the box size is standard for this type of the model. Here you can see comparison with my hand. Also on the side here you will find some safety information and address of the manufacturer, while on the opposite side you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marking options. It's quite interesting that we have even the Coca-Cola truck, and I would say this is something what I was not expecting here. So this is a top opening box, and here is what we have inside. So as you can see, all frames are sealed into one plastic bag. We have also assembly manual on the bottom. And first of all, of course, I will open the plastic bag so that we can check together the plastic sprues, and then we will talk about the assembly process. But maybe some of you already seen this kit, because it's already, I wouldn't even count what is the number of this version, but there were plenty of other types of this kit released before. I reviewed them as well, so you can find easily the videos on the same YouTube channel you are watching at the moment. But today we are talking about this delivery truck. And I would like to start with this small envelope with Miniart logo. So this one is used for the PE parts. And I'm just going to take out the PE thread. It's unpainted PE thread, and if I zoom in, maybe open the lenses a bit. So here you can see the small PE thread. We have the parts for internal and external features, and also we have even this plate which will be used for the model stand. But I think that's a really useful addition in case you would like to depict your model this way. Next we continue with the first gray plastic sprue. So here you can see this is actually one of the biggest in the kit. So this one is dedicated to the cap parts. We also have the separate doors. We have the steering wheel here, and the separate doors are actually quite handy in case you would like to show what is inside the vehicle. You can just open them. Of course, it is also a useful thing for some figurines placement, because there are some suitable figurines available even from Miniart, so it's just a matter of buying the separate set, and maybe you can also place some items inside, so it will be also quite a handy thing. And in case of the features, so for example, I can show you here the front wall. As you can see, we have some features pre-molded here and on the opposite side as well. This is quite nice attention to small details, and I think it's a really handy thing for a 1/35 scale, so definitely a good item to have included out of the box. Next we continue with the parts for the rear suspension. So this is actually the parts which will be used for the rear wheel assembly, and I'm just looking how it will be assembled, because maybe the design has changed, but no, it's exactly the same. As you can see, we have some guiding elements, and the same applies on the opposite side. So it's just a matter of combining all of those parts together, and maybe adding some metal wire, because metal wire is suggested in the assembly manual as far as I remember. Here we continue with the roof panel and the rear cap panel. We also have some parts for the suspension of the front section, and here inside you can see we have some push marks, but it's not visible on the finished model, and in the worst case you can try to sand them down. As for the bonnet, this one is molded as a single piece part, and that's something what I'm really glad to see in this kit, so you don't have to deal with trying to smooth the panel lines. You just install this part and you are good to go. Next, we continue with the parts for the rear section. So here Miniart also decided not to skip on the features. We have the separate doors in all necessary areas, and in my opinion this is quite important, and it will might be handy for some diorama ideas, especially if you plan to place something inside. But here in this kit you do not get anything what can be placed inside. For example, the boxes or something of this sense, you will have to buy it separately or maybe assemble out of the spare parts. Here we continue with more parts. This is a roof panel, floor panel, and also side panel for the rear section. And there is no wooden texture, as you can see on the floor panel, but it's not difficult to replicate it. And here inside we have some structure bars, which is really cool because if you open the doors it will be visible, and if you don't open, well, it's just inside, so it's also good. Next we continue with the last gray plastic sprue. So here I will just zoom out a bit. As you can see, these are road wheels, and they should be assembled out of several parts, but these are plastic road wheels, which are quite nice once you assemble them. These are the engine parts, and this vehicle is famous because it has the engine on the front wheel, so quite an interesting assembly, and maybe worth opening the bonnet in order to expose it. Here you can take a look from the opposite side. So we have all the guiding pins in all necessary spots, so that's not a difficult thing to assemble, and I can say it from my own experience. And by the way, you can find the build review on the same YouTube channel as well. Next we have the clear parts. So for the clear parts, I have to say that they are quite nice. We have a really good molding quality, but there are no masks or masking templates. And this is something I think would help a lot to this kit, but I don't know why Miniart is so reluctant to include this useful bonus. So you have to either cut your own masks or maybe find some aftermarket, which is a bit tricky task in my opinion. But I think even trying to carefully paint the window seals is also an option, what I actually did on my kit. And by the way, this plastic sprue was coming without any separate packaging, which is rather surprising for Miniart. Next we continue with the decals. So for decals we have them printed in cartograph. I'm just looking at this Iceman, or snowman. Maybe I'll just close the lenses so that you can understand what I'm talking about. So as you can see, it's not as sharp as it could be, especially in comparison with those writings, and I wonder why it is like that, whether it is intentional or not. But as you can see, all other writings are very sharp and easy to read. We also have some, or we should have some interior decals, because I do not see them from the first first sight, but I can see some dials here, for example, so maybe that's what will be placed inside. Okay. And next we continue with assembly manual. So this one is printed in form of this color printed brochure, so I will just zoom out so that you can see the whole page. And on the first page we have a short list of the features. Next we start with the first marking option, which is in this bright green color because it advertises the Heinkel Persil washing powder. Next we continue also here with the parts map, and then we have the assembly process. So everything starts with the front cap. As I was saying, you have also an option to install the metal wire. As you can see, we have the diameter and the length, so you know what to apply. And a lot of tiny things are replicated with PE parts. Here on the rear wheel axle you can see also the brake lines be getting replicated with metal wire. You don't have to do it, but I really recommend to go this way because it's visible update, and I think it has a good influence on the final appearance of your model, so definitely a nice investment into the appearance and looks of your car kit. Next we have the engine assembly. So here we have pretty much the same story. You can add the metal wire if you would like to, or you can just skip this task. Next is the rear section of this truck. Then we continue by joining them together, installing the rear wheel axle, and then we start working on the front bonnet. So as you can see, you have a choice between the two radiator grille meshes. We have also the PE frame for the license plate, and here we continue by choosing the open or closed bonnet version, and this will also define a choice of some small PE parts in order to affix this part in place. As for the second marking option, that's exactly what I was talking about. As you can see here, it's more on the sharp side, but maybe it should be done this way because that's how the symbols were painted on the cars. If you know more about this version, if you have some photo references, feel free to write in the comment section. I would be happy to learn more. And we switch over to the next pages. So here we have also quite interesting color options. This one was on the box art, as you remember. And the fifth, the final, is notable because it's Maggie bricks. As you can see, it's a large writing on the rear section. So as for the whole kit, I have to say that it's notable because of its marking options. It's not something what you will meet in every plastic kit. So as I was saying, all fans of the civil car kits definitely should take a look at this release. And of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion. So write it here in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.